What's going on, everybody, and welcome to J Sports Seattle. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the Seahawks again. There's not too much going on, but there is enough to where I got to talk about this, especially specifically one person. But yeah, I'm just going to go over a couple things that have happened the past couple weeks. So if you like the video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share for more Seahawks and Seattle sports content. And without further ado, let's get on to the video. Also, if you hear any jingling in the background, my cat's in my room, so apologies if you hear that. Alright, sorry, I'm just checking stuff. Alright, now, yeah, so the Seahawks, we had a really, really good draft, and we continue to do great moves. Firstly, actually, I want to get this out the way first. So, this happened like a week ago. The Seahawks have exercised Charles Cross's fifth-year option. So he will be here this year and next year, which is good because he's going to get paid more money than he has gotten paid the past 4 years of his rookie deal, like in a single year. And that's probably, that's good for him. He'll be getting paid money. He does, and that's what he deserves to get paid. That's like around where he should get paid, 17.5 million. Only 13 tackles better. I could argue he deserves like at least 22 million a year because he does play like a top 10 left tackle in the league. So I do think he does deserve top 10 tackle money when the time is ready, because he's only 24. So like you can't just let him walk. Obviously, they're not going to let him walk. There's a reason why we picked him 9th overall. It's because we need a cornerstone left tackle, and well, he's a cornerstone left tackle. I mean, he's only missed 3 games, and he played 100 snaps in 2022 and last year. So he does his job very well too, and he's available. That's a hit right there. We hit on our 9th overall pick. It may not, even though he doesn't have any All-Pros or Pro Bowls. He's one of the better He's one of the better left tackles in the league. And keep in mind, left tackle is one of the hardest positions to find in the league. I think it might be the hardest to find outside of quarterback. So you can't like draft somebody 9th overall, like draft a left tackle 9th overall. He doesn't have any accolades and say he's a bust. Well, no, you can't say that because you have to look at what he did. If he was playing in the league for a long time, that means he was doing his job effectively. Like, for example, one person, Eric Fisher, 1st overall pick, 2013. He wasn't really 1st overall pick worthy. Obviously, that draft was probably the worst draft class of all time, but that's not 1st pick overall worthy. And yet, he managed to ride his way to a Super Bowl victory in 2019 with the Chiefs. He stayed his entire career with the Chiefs, I believe. And or maybe not. Let's see. Oh, no, he bounced around the last 2 years. But he spent a majority of his career with the Chiefs, won a Super Bowl. Oh, he does have a first. He does have 2 Pro Bowls, but it was later in his career, and that's what could happen with Charles Cross. He's still 24. He's still very young. He could still, develop and turn into a Pro Bowler. So just like Eric Fisher, he could potentially go down the Eric Fisher route. Like, he's always good, and he just gets better as he's in that. Maybe he's not worth his 9th overall pick, but he does his job. Like, that's the thing. So this is great right here, and I do believe after 2026, even during 2026, I believe we will extend him. So we do not have to worry about Charles Cross, and I'm glad that we did get this, made this happen. Now, the main guy. We are going to talk about our 3rd round pick, 92nd overall pick, Jalen Milroe. So, I got a few things to point out. Firstly, I want to point out his maturity and the respect for the game, as it says here, but also the understanding of the position he's in and the role that he has to play for this team. So like he's only 22, so obviously we're developing him. But this dude is very, very mature. But that's because he comes from a military family. So, like, he shows a lot of poise. He's very respectful. And he's saying, yeah, above everything else, Milroe has been incredibly respectful and understanding about his role and how much work he has to do in order to potentially earn Seattle's starting quarterback job. The appearance he made on NFL Network yesterday offered more of the same, which included shout-outs to, Seahawks legends Sean Alexander and Matt Hasselbeck. I don't want to play the video because I don't know how long it is, but like, just the fact that he is already having the poise of like a 10-year vet as a rookie shows that we could have done. Sorry for the voice crack. Oh my goodness. We probably chose right. We did right with this guy and by choosing this guy, and we did even more right by doing this. We are going to use virtual reality to help Jalen Milroe with his timing and decision making. So this is massive because this shows, what this tells me and tells us as Seahawks fans? It tells us that the Seahawks are going to move forward with Jalen Milroe as a starting quarterback sometime in the near future within the next 2 to 3 years. After he, probably like next 2 years. And that we are committed to making this guy into a starting caliber quarterback. And that's what you got to do. He's the third overall pick, or not third overall pick. He's a third round pick. So third round picks, you can find starters out of that, and so that's what we're going to do. And he's going to sit behind Darnold for a year or two, and when he's ready to go, he'll be ready. But until then, he said it's funny just how you just mentioned that because me and my new head coach, we talked about doing that virtual reality, and so from now until game 1, I'm going to utilize that. And this is massive for 2 reasons. One, because obviously this will help you simulate what it's like to be in a game. But another reason is it helps you simulate what it's like to be in a game without getting hurt. That's the big thing right there. And the thing is a lot of it can be sped up, and which can honestly help you or help the quarterback that's using it. It helps like normal game time slow down. Look, for example, who else uses it? Jaden Daniels. And look at the year he had last year. He had an amazing year. He was in the running for MVP, and he was using that because, that's because he knows that you got to use technology. You got to utilize technology to your advantage, and that is exactly what we're doing too. And I'm sure a lot of other teams are not going to be too far behind that if they're not already utilizing it. But this is massive. We get a guy who is who can be a leader. He is respectful. He understands his role, willing to put in the work. That's what we want. That's the Seahawk way. That you're not a Seahawk unless that's the type. That's what you want to be. It's not about you. That's the reason why that's the reason why a lot of teams didn't get Shedeur Sanders. It's not about you. It's about the team. And this dude clearly has what it takes. With his mentality, he has what it takes to elevate his game to a Pro Bowl caliber. If we do it right, especially under Clint Kubiak's system, I think he could be really, really, really good actually. So this is massive for multiple reasons. And honestly, looking at this and just looking at the draft, it's justifying my A grade. And low-key might upgraded to an A+ if this dude hits, which I believe he can with our help. But yeah, he is going to be the future, probably franchise quarterback. I think that's what we're trying to do. We are trying to turn this guy into a franchise quarterback. And if we do this, that means our quarterback situation, assuming that all contracts get played out from both Sam Darnold and Jalen Milroe plays out, assuming those get played out, we could have 7 years of not having at minimum not having to worry about a quarterback. So. And even if Sam Darnold does very, very well, we can trade him and just get a buttload of picks and then start Milroe and just get even more talent. That's how you do it. John Schneider might be cooking up something fierce for the next couple of years. So that I'm not saying that'll happen, but that is an idea because it's a 3-year contract. Obviously, it's the way it's structured is like a 1-year deal, but it's a 3-year contract. And if he decide that after 2 years, we're going to move with Milroe, we'll trade him, and if he has, he's still a good quarterback, we can get a buttload of picks. Maybe get a third or maybe a high, like maybe a second round, depending on how well he does, and just get more talent. I mean, on both the offense and defense. That's what you got to do. That's how you build a defense. That's how you build a championship level team. Is playing right now. We're playing chess right now, and we're kind of on the attack right now with the way that with the way that we drafted and the way that we're attacking things. So, I mean, we were aggressive in the draft. We got Nick Emamori. We did a trade. We did multiple trade backs. We traded up again in the 5th round or 4th round, I think, to 5th round to get Riley Mills. So we were very active this last draft, which is, like I said, a complete shift in drafting philosophy from John Schneider, at least from the John Schneider era. Because like I said, when Pete Carroll was in town, there wasn't really a lot going on during the draft. No, not really much trades. Maybe a trade down or two every now and then, but nothing like it was last year. Last year was something new for me, and it's a welcoming change. I like it. It shows that we're about it. We're not trying to be in the gutter. We're trying to go back to what we were 12 years ago. So I like this approach. And Jalen Milroe, man, I think this dude can be good quarterback for us. I'm not going to say he's going to be an elite quarterback, like he's going to be an MVP, but he can definitely be, if he really develops his game, fix his arm, fix his timing and decision making, this dude can, potentially be a top 12, top 10 quarterback potentially. So we'll see what happens. We do have a good track record of developing quarterbacks. I mean, ever since the turn of the century, you've had pretty good quarterbacks. From Matt Hasselbeck to Russ, we had a little stint with Geno, and then now Milroe, Sam Darnold, Milroe. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, I'm really excited to see how this dude will turn out. And I know there's rookie mini camp highlights. I'm gonna wait until mandatory mini camp or mandatory camp comes around in June, and I'll start going over highlights and see how he does. But yeah, like this dude, along with everybody else in this draft, I believe this was a great draft, and I'm super happy with the way that we went about drafting this year, and especially getting this guy, 22 years old, 6'2". Oh, also another thing that I want to point out, this dude is still growing. Apparently, in February 2025, Milroe's hand span, it reportedly grew 20 millimeters. So he could still be growing, and that can be huge for us because that means we could have gotten a guy that's still growing, still developing, and he's just going to get stronger. That means he can throw even bigger bombs and potentially, he's 6'2". So he's kind of has the same arc. Like, he's not built the same because Jalen Hurts just freaking squats. He squats like cars apparently. Well, he doesn't, but he squats like 600 pounds, 700 pounds. Jalen Milroe, he isn't built like it, but he has the same height and he has around the same weight. So, but he's fast and he's very, very. I mean, he has a 99 athleticism. So, we found something in this guy for sure if he's continuing to grow. So I'm really excited, and yeah, we'll see what happens. So I think that's all I have for this video, though. If you like the video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share for more Seahawks and Seattle sports content. I'm probably going to make a Mariners video soon. They are absolutely blowing it out the water right now, and I'm very, very surprised with what this offense is elite, and I got to talk about it in another video, but I'll get to that. But yeah, thank you for stopping by. Have a good day, and go Hawks, go Mariners, and go Kraken.